What up, what up, what up? And welcome back to another episode of Can You Reach That?
Can you reach that? Man. So I got a riddle for you. I'm just going to start it off right off the bat.
With the riddles, okay.
I got a riddle,
Riddle
man.
me this.
So what one word best describes a man who doesn't have all his fingers on one hand?
Palm? I don't know what.
Normal. Do you have all your fingers on one hand?
That's a stupid riddle.
It is stupid, but figure we kick off the show on a light note.
He said all your fingers on one hand. Man, I can't believe I fell for that.
With all the chaos in the world today, I figured let's start this off on a light note.
All your fingers on one hand. Didn't even click. That's crazy.
Can you reach that? You see that? Let's talk about it. Be that. Believe that. Let the people know that we see that and what they want to know. Can you reach that? Can you reach that?
And now your hosts, Tango and Coop.
Can you reach that? Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
So what, I got all my fingers on both my hands?
Yay or nay, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Weird question.
Yeah, you know.
It got me though. I can't lie. It got me.
Keeping it light, you know. So I was thinking about it last week. We were talking about the humongous catalog of E40.
Yes, sir.
And obviously the anniversary of one of his albums.
30th anniversary of In a Major Way.
It made me think about the Bay Area hip hop. I mean, there's a lot of legends, right? You got obviously E40 and Too Short come to your mind real quick.
First ones.
I mean, Pac, even though he came from New York, he ran through the Bay, West Coast, you know. Obviously you can't say the Bay without saying Mac Dre.
No, you cannot.
So with that said, I saw a story that Marshawn Lynch's production company and Steph Curry's production company are collabing, and they're working on a Mac Dre documentary from the perspective of his mother, but about Mac Dre's life.
Okay, that's cool. I don't feel like we've seen too many mother perspectives,
Right?
So that'll be dope.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see some of that story. I mean, Mac Dre. I mean, another unfortunate, you know, gone too soon.
Yeah.
But Mac Dre was like, I think he was probably one of the most important pieces of the Bay Area hip hop scene. I don't know anybody who would mention the Bay Area and not have him
without mentioning Mac Dre. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of artists that come from the Bay, but you're gonna mention Mac Dre, you're gonna mention E40, you're gonna mention Tupac. I mean, sorry, Too Short. You mentioned Tupac too, but Too Short, E40, and Mac Dre, I think, really define the Bay.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely
Three
definitely
unique artists.
Three of the most influential, impactful artists that I can say that came out of the Bay.
I mean, Mac Dre, you know, Get Stupid, Feeling Myself.
Yeah, that's the one that always come to mind for me.
Yeah, Feeling Myself.
Myself.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's a Bay anthem right there.
Right. So I mean, just pivotal in that whole, just on that whole scene. So I'm actually that's one documentary that I want to definitely check out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I think it's cool. You know, Marshawn Lynch being a Bay Area native, you know, played for the teams over there, obviously, and then you got Steph Curry that's out there playing for the Warriors. It's kind of cool that they're kind of coming together just on this whole, you know, Bay Area everything.
Homegrown documentaries. Yeah, I like to see it, and I love to see when we tell our own stories. You know, like that's also another plus that I see coming out of this.
Right. It's not there's documentaries where it's not even told through anybody's eyes. It's just a bunch of interviews and from what we know type of thing. This is
like it's told from a third person outside perspective,
right,
of what they think, you know, his story is or their story is. So
right.
Or it to be, you know, especially coming from his mom, you know, like you can't beat that.
Yeah, because you're gonna hear more about how he grew up. I'm sure you're gonna hear about, you know, his tie into music, how he got into doing music. You know, you're gonna hear that perspective of it. I think it's gonna be pretty dope. looking forward to checking that out. I mean, and who knows? Maybe there'll be a pretty sick soundtrack. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. Is there any unreleased Mac Dre songs that we may?
Ooh, that we may get privy to.
Because we heard about the documentary for Nip.
Nipsey and him
they're-
releasing unreleased and him having unreleased music.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of dope if there's just somewhere sitting around waiting to make its entrance into the world. There's some Mac Dre music.
That'll be dope. Also a good opportunity to introduce some new artists.
For sure.
Some new artists with some old artists.
Just get a whole bunch of, indie Bay Area artists and just prop them up, you know what I mean? And
That'll
I'm
be
sure
fire.
I'm sure there's going to be some E40 and Too Short in there.
Gotta be. Can't have a bass story without E40 and Short.
So
some Hammer, throw some MC Hammer in there.
Why not?
I mean, Oakland, does that
It's still Bay Area.
Still Bay, right?
Oakland, I think, is the central piece of the Bay Area. I mean, when you look at that whole surrounding area, you got Frisco, San Mateo. I mean,
it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of dope artists that came out of that area, And now I'm just thinking about the Loonies, thinking about Drew Down.
Yeah,
that's
Drew Down was big.
Drew Down was huge. Richie Rich, man, great music, great artists, great vibe, great genre.
Oakland, yep. So yeah, that's a documentary I'm definitely looking forward to checking out. I think there is a good story to be told. I wish his story was longer, but it's going to be good to hear some of that stuff, and I think it'll be a good documentary. I think a lot of people sleep on his impact.
No, totally, and
I don't think the Bay Area sleeps on his impact.
No, they know his impact because that's that's their local.
But I think
local
outside
area.
the
outside
Bay,
of that.
and more importantly, outside of Cali, I think they don't realize the impact.
Yeah, and that's because nobody's pushing the story.
So
mainstream isn't pushing it, and this right here is the push of his story. This is definitely going to put him into a new light, introduce him to some people who may not have known his relevance to the area.
For sure.
So that'll be dope. That'll be dope to see. I'm here for it.
For sure. Any other movies you looking forward to seeing? I think I know there's a movie coming out, Happy Gilmore 2. I mean,
Happy Gilmore 2.
Steering away from documentaries, but I'm a huge Happy Gilmore fan.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely, if I put together a top 10 list of sports films, it's definitely in my top 10.
See, it's crazy that you say that because it never occurred to me to think of Happy Gilmore as a sports film. It was just a comedy. It was just an Adam Sandler comedy to me.
But it's a golf film.
But it is, it is a sports film. I see that. It makes sense.
So, I mean, I would definitely put in my top 10 sports films. But if I were talking sports comedies, it'd definitely probably be top 5. I don't know if I'd have to sit there and really think about comedy sports films. What they would be,
yeah. But no, that movie was dope, and it's on that's a cult classic right there. Everything about Happy Gilmore. I mean, the Bob Barker appearance, the Chubbs, man, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
Find your happy place.
So
I think that
you want to go to Sizzler
is just right. I thought we were going to Sizzler. Come on, shooter. We're gonna be friends still, right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping the new one doesn't reach too hard. I know there's going to be some callbacks from what I understand, and we did our little video review. It looks like it's coming off of the same gap in between the movies. So it's years later, 20 plus years later that he's stepping back onto the greens, hitting his balls in.
Yeah.
Balls. But I think I'm gonna see it regardless because I'm a Happy Gilmore fan.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you can't not see it.
So, but yeah, that's definitely up on my list of sports films to see. I think that's gonna be a.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all the cameos that pop up in it. Are they gonna?
I just feel like, how do you replace the Bob Barker cameo? That's probably one of the greatest cameos in a film.
It really was, because you didn't see that coming from Bob Barker.
I mean, once you saw your first time watching that movie, I mean, I know for me. And I saw Bob Barker in the movie. I'm like, okay. And then as the part kind of dragged on, there was some, he was in it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, we're at the celebrity championship, da da da. Oh, you're playing with Bob Barker. Boom. You thought he'd say a line or two and that'd be it. And as it went on and on, he was getting more aggravated, more pissed off.
The fight scene.
And then they threw down. I was like, oh man, like this is just too good.
Yeah, that was a twist you did not see coming.
Like at that part, did people just walk up to Bob Barker when they saw him out in public and go, can you say the price is right? I mean, Like I feel like, oh man, that was just too classic. So that's what I'm nervous about with part 2. Are they gonna try to? It's fine to make some callbacks to the original, but they're gonna try to recreate another sort of brawl moment, fight moment, argument with a different celebrity to try to repurpose that joke.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be something different? I mean, I don't know. It just depends, I guess, right?
I mean, I would like to think, Adam Sandler is a very talented director, filmmaker, producer. I would like to think that he would be aware of that and not try to reach back too much to try to recreate the Happy Gilmore, to try to use that as influence to create something new and different for today's generation and today's time, you know? So
I'm hoping.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Because, I mean, I can't think of any.
He's gonna throw it out with Nick Cannon, like,
or maybe he'll get who's the host of the Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak,
yeah, he'll get Pat Sajak out there.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that'll be it's good. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Yeah, that's definitely.
I'm gonna watch it regardless. But yeah, I love the original is just too classic for me. I mean, Adam Sandler's done a ton of movies, but
yes,
you know, the Happy Gilmores, the Billy Madisons, those were just
that. Yeah, early Adam Sandler, and it's dope seeing his growth throughout his movies. You know, because
indeed
back then they were basically the only way I can refer to him as like stupid frat boy drunk movies. You know, Beware the Penguin. You know, like everything is immature, and then as he's gotten older, you've also seen his movies mature.
He's done some drama stuff.
He's done, Big Daddy, which was still a comedy, but more adult type of content, about him having a kid and all this other stuff.
Yeah, the basketball flick too. I'm brain farting on the title right now.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
But he showed his serious side. I thought that movie was dope.
Yeah,
and it was dope too because Adam is a basketball fan. He plays obviously. He's known to hoop.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good. He was like a
scout.
A scout. Yeah.
That movie was super, super dope. Yeah, it had Anthony Edwards in it.
Yeah. Then he does his You know what? He always seems to set himself up with a leading lady who are on a lot of people's top 10s lists.
Right. You know, he knows what he's doing. He knows clickbait.
Click.
No, I was kidding.
Click. No, Click. He did Click.
Oh yeah.
With Salma Hayek.
Did you ever watch the movie he did called The Cobbler?
I wanted to. It's on my watch list, but I never got around to watching it.
I think the premise of the movie is different. I thought it was pretty dope. I liked it. I mean, he repairs shoes, and then he finds out one day that when he steps into people's shoes, he becomes the person who owns the shoes. He even turns into Method Man for a minute.
I got to check that out.
But
on some Freaky Friday shit.
It's to a certain degree, right? Yeah. So, wasn't a terrible movie. I mean, it was different.
I'm gonna check it out. He's got a great catalog of movies.
For sure.
Hate him or love him. Like you can't deny the movies. 50 First Dates. Him and Drew Barrymore. Anything that they do together, I enjoy. Wedding Singer.
Right.
Such a cute little date flick.
Little Nicky.
Little Nicky was hilarious.
I had a cameo in that movie.
For real?
Yeah. I was one of the monsters in that movie.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look for you next time.
You ain't gonna see me. It's all makeup. I got pictures. I got set pictures though.
That's what's up.
But no, and that's actually where I met Adam Sandler. He was really cool. He talked to a couple of us. We were hanging out. Very down to earth. No ego at all. Just a cool dude.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Definitely on the list. In other movie news, I saw an article. And I don't know the truthiness, making up my own words now.
Truthiness
to this, but if true and if it becomes a thing, I'd be very interested. So they're working on an Evel Knievel biopic, and rumor has it that Leo DiCaprio is in talks to be
tagged to be Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel.
Okay, I can see that.
And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, I can see it because Leo definitely gets into his characters.
He does, yeah. He plays them well.
So, and if you've
ever seen Django,
he did the Howard Hughes biopic.
Yeah,
and I thought he did great in that. So, I kind of want to see it now. I kind of want to see that come to fruition. I hope he's able to land the part. It seems like he's the front runner. Seems like there's talks happening.
That'll be, and is it going to be more of a drama? Is it going to be more of a comedy? Because ironically, I say ironically, but like when I think of Evel Knievel, the names that come to mind are somebody like a Danny McBride, you know? Like I imagine some type of slapstick, humorous comedy, or, you know, like Hot Rod. You remember Hot Rod? You know, like that's the first kind of thing that comes to mind when I think of Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel wasn't
I know
comedy.
he wasn't.
He was a Daredevil, but
I know
like
he wasn't.
But I mean, the ripoff of that was Super Dave. So I mean, if they're doing a Super Dave biopic, then yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. We've had enough of those in the past that like when I think of Evel Knievel, that's where my first mind goes.
I feel like this is going to be like a serious movie, like a true story biopic, not a comedy.
On like another Talladega Nights, you know?
No, it's not. It's not like, Super Dave.
Is Leo breaking out his comedy chops?
Yeah, not Super Dave. Not Super Dave.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think that could be a dope pairing, and seeing Leo do his thing. I mean, he definitely dives into roles. Blood Diamond. I mean, that's another movie that he did fantastic in. I mean, that wasn't a biopic or nothing like that. You know,
but he's as an actor.
But just as an actor, I mean,
he definitely plays his roles well.
We won't even talk about Titanic. You can talk about everything. I mean, people are always going to bring up Titanic.
Catch Me If You Can.
But Catch Me, yeah. I was about to say Catch Me If You Can.
He was Frank Abagnale.
I loved that movie. Like him and Tom Hanks, they played so well off each other. I mean, I thought that was. Do you concur? I concur. Do you concur? I thought that movie was great. I loved watching it. I still love watching that movie.
Christopher Walken. Yeah, man. Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, I mean.
Pop in the VHS. Psh, sit down with a bowl of popcorn.
Leo definitely dives in.
Definitely gets into character.
He dives into his roles.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. It'll be good to see him as Evel Knievel. Plus, I mean, when's the last time we've had an Evel Knievel story?
I have an unpopular opinion about Leo. So you remember the Romeo and Juliet?
Yes.
What did you like that movie?
Don't remember it. It's been too long. Like it's been so long that if I watched it, it would be like watching it again for the first time.
So a lot of people love that. That's like when you say Leo, a lot of people go right to that.
Yeah.
Titanic, obviously, but obviously they go to Romeo.
Well, I would think Wolf of Wall Street now is the
Wolf of Wall Street was good too.
Is the biggest one that comes, or at least for me, that's the one that comes to mind now.
But for me, that Romeo and Juliet movie, it wasn't it.
No?
It was all right, but it was like.
But you're not putting that in his top tier of catalog.
And I don't know if that it was so hyped and whatnot, but it wasn't my, like when I saw it, I was like, all right, like it's Romeo and Juliet. I get it. It's like.
Didn't hit for you.
Yeah, it didn't hit. Like he has others on the list that I'll put way above that. Not a slight, just.
Yeah, no.
You know.
Not everything is a winner, you know? Not everything can be a winner.
So and it's funny. I was just thinking about that. You when we were talking about Cobbler, when we were going back, see, we're spinning the conversation. You
spin the block.
You said that Cobbler, when I was describing the premise, reminded you of Freaky Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw this Freaky Friday 2 coming out.
No, I didn't see that.
And it's
Freaky Friday 2.
It's Lindsay Lohan and you know, it's.
How do you remake? Who swaps this time? Do you swap with the dog?
I don't want to say I don't care, because I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but I don't care.
I'm down to stream it. I'm down to stream it.
I mean, I think it's Lindsay Lohan has a kid now or something, and so it's like,
oh, the next generation of Freaky Fridays.
But it's still the original, so it still has, you know, 3 of them now. It's daughter, granddaughter, mother,
yeah, so
you know, or
yeah.
something of that nature.
It's
it's like 4 of them complete. I think it's the swap. I don't know, but I was just like, this isn't a movie that needs a sequel. Like it's done. I mean, it was a remake to begin with,
right?
So it's kind of like, I don't know, man.
I mean, hey, body swapping is a thing. There's a lot of movies that dip into the body swapping genre. I'm trying to think of the one that had Ryan Reynolds. Remember that one?
Yeah. That was Ryan Reynolds and why am I brain farting on his name?
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
It's old boy from Smartless.
It's the Change Up.
Change Up, yeah, with Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like that one, I feel like that one was a unique.
They peed in the fountain. It could happen.
I feel like that one was a unique take on the body swap, because typically when you see it, it's usually women. It's usually a kid and an adult.
Well, I think there was one with Matthew Perry and
17 again.
Yeah, where they did it. That was.
But again, kid and adult. You know,
kid and adult. Yeah, this was two kids. This was a married man and a bachelor.
Right.
Essentially
swapping it out. So
and you know, and this is I believe that's why they warn you not to cross the streams. See, they were pissing the fountain. They crossed the streams and boom, now they body swapped.
Yeah, we can't have that. No body swapping.
That, if I'm not mistaken, that movie had one of the foulest intros I've ever watched. When I think Jason Bateman had to wake up to change the baby's diaper.
Right.
He looked over and the baby just like, and they showed the pulsating ass and just pooped right in his mouth. And it was all in his mouth. He was spitting it back out. And I was just like, yeah, that was foul.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious. Yeah, that movie was hilarious.
That was a good movie.
And the baby was banging his head on the side of the crib, just going nuts. So yeah, that movie was hilarious.
Freaky Friday 2, though. Yeah, I'm not rushing out to the theaters to go watch that one, but I will watch it on streaming when it comes out. I'm definitely a streamer.
You can let me know. I think I'm a pass on that one.
I'll give you the update.
Yeah,
after it comes out.
If it's really worth it, and
because I mean, I'm assuming Jamie Lee Curtis is.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I didn't say her name. My bad. Yeah.
Well, we mentioned Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and then there's two younger girls. That's why I said I don't know if it's Lindsay Lohan's adult now. She has 2 kids or something.
Right.
Yeah, the 4 of them all switch somehow.
But I'm a Curtis fan.
They go to a psychic, I think, and they switch with something the psychic does.
Yeah, I'm a Curtis fan. So, I mean, it's streaming now. To me, it's the equivalent of like once a movie gets released on what used to be DVD and VHS, and then you watch it. Like that's how I feel about.
Some of them just go straight there anyway. So
yeah, straight to streaming, like the Adam Sandler movie.
Happy Gilmore, straight there.
Happy Gilmore too.
I mean, he's got all the Netflix films.
Yeah, he's done a big run with Netflix a lot lately. Yeah, so dope to see.
I noticed a lot of the Happy Madison films.
Yeah,
because of the David Spade films. There's a couple of those that are on there, and
yeah, David Spade.
So
funny dude.
But yeah, I mean,
I loved him. I loved him in Emperor's Last Groove.
All right.
I'm just saying. That's a iconic.
I
movie
like
for
many
me.
people. Aside from the fact that he has plenty of movies, I go right to Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt was hilarious to me. I mean, everybody knows that movie was just funny. The second one, it was all right, but the first one, was
first one,
classic.
Oh, classic.
And don't get me wrong, Black Sheep. I mean, he's got movies, but
nah, Joe Dirt's definitely one of his more
hilarious,
highest recognizable movies that he's done. But he's done a lot.
Oh yeah,
he's done a lot. He did Senseless with Marlon Wayans.
That movie was that was good.
That was hilarious.
He has there's a new Netflix film called I think it came out last year, but it's called Wrong Missy. And I feel
like that was a couple years ago.
That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, that movie was great. That
movie was hilarious.
I love that one.
Yeah, it was like a year or so ago.
Yeah,
that movie was hilarious. Like Wrong Missy was really funny.
Yeah, I liked it.
So, but yeah, a lot of the Happy Madison, that production is. I think they must have some sort of a Netflix deal going on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Which is fine with me.
And I love the fact that in Adam Sandler's network, like you always see him working with his friends. Like he has his core group, and I don't know how he decides who's going to be in the movies or if he offers it to them and they accept or they don't. But it's always nice seeing the same people in his movies.
That and I like the callbacks to like where it's almost like he has his own. And I think we've talked about this. He has his own like universe where
certain
he can characters will pop.
Yeah,
why is this character in this movie? You know what I mean? But like like the Happy Gilmore, the original, the bum that was the caddy.
Yeah,
he was the bum that was in what was the one where his twin sister.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name. Jack and Jill. Yeah.
I think they had him over for dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable."
Yeah.
But the fact that they called back and he was the same homeless dude, I just thought that was. They do that a lot. They do that. I mean, obviously, Rob Schneider.
Yeah, if Rob Schneider pops back up, all I imagine is
you can do it.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
They should just do a movie called You Can Do It. Just based around that dude.
Waterboy was a classic, bro.
Waterboy, again, when we talk about sports comedy films.
That one definitely
Waterboy is hilarious.
Brings up as a sports comedy. Yeah.
So I guess he's got 2 sports comedy films that are on my list.
Yeah. Great movie.
And he did The Longest Yard, another sports football movie.
That's right.
Which
yeah.
wasn't terrible either.
Man,
it was a remake, but it was good.
Sandler's got a resume.
It was good.
Sandler's got a resume.
Do you sneak food into the movie theater or do you buy them from the concessions?
I'm a buy at the concessions. I mean, I haven't. Things have changed, but yeah, I used to buy at the concessions. Have my AMC Stubs membership
For sure.
So I'd hit the Premier lines, get my free tickets.
Do the app and do the pick up at the concessions. Don't have to worry about lines. Yeah, I've done that.
Or go to the AMC dine-in and just have them bring it to the seat.
Right, I've done that. But I ain't gonna lie, I still bring stuff in my pockets.
Yeah, I've never really. I don't know, and maybe because I got quote unquote I got money now, so it's like
ballin'.
I ain't doing that broke shit no more.
Nah, for me it's not broke shit. It's smart shit because
it is smart. That shit is expensive.
Them little boxes of like Sour Patch Kids, things like that. They charging like $6-8 for.
Yeah,
are the same ones that are at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, like I'll drop 50 easy just on me going to the movies.
That's what I'm saying. So I
usually
what I usually do is I usually hit a dollar store.
But I do it for the experience.
And I'll grab I'll grab 1 or 2 boxes of little candies, and then I'll go over to the market and grab bag of chips and the couple of theaters. There's a lot of theaters now just don't really care, but there's some that do.
Right.
But back in the day when they were real strict, when we were younger, I still do this to this day. When I bring a bag of chips, that's a big bulge, right? You have it in your pockets. So right before I go in the theater, I just poke a hole, let the air out.
Let the air out. Giving away all the secrets.
So, poke a hole, let the air out, walk in.
Giving away all the secrets.
So, but yeah, I'm and that's another thing too, is like the sizes and the stuff of that they serve is smaller than it used to, or it's either smaller and costs the same or is more expensive
for the
same
size
thing. And it's just it's like the inflation and the shrinkflation is just nuts. I mean, it's
crazy. Seeing talking about the shrinkflation, like hitting up the fast food restaurants lately.
Oh yeah,
Jack in the Box, Wendy's, In-N-Out. Like I went to when I go to Jack in the Box, I get the Munchie Meal.
Before you get into shrinkflation, them Jack in the Box tacos ain't real tacos and they're gross. Like, how do you eat those?
They taste delicious.
Man,
I'm not expecting real tacos. I'm expecting Jack in the Box grease coating my stomach.
That's just an In-N-Out. Just flush your system. Like, that's
beef
just gross.
Flavoring in the juice, like whatever the fuck it is.
I hate them things. Like,
whatever it is.
We used to go to the games and they give out the tacos for the Laker games. They give you the things. Oh no, here just
passing them on.
Here, somebody else can have them.
I'll take them. Save them for me next time.
Gross.
Love me some Jack in the Box tacos, man. Yeah, but it's partly nostalgic too, because there used to be a Jack in the Box right across the street from where I was growing up. So I just go over there, get my 2 tacos for 99 cents.
Right.
After school, on my way home, man, those were the days. But yeah, I got the Munchie Meal, and then they give me the drink, and I swear it was a little kid's cup.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what? I think you gave me the wrong drink, and they're like, no, that's the drink size now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the medium. They're like, yeah, that's.
Yep.
And I'm like,
yeah, because I noticed that a while back. The Wendy's, you say Wendy's too. The Wendy's Frosties
got smaller too.
When you used to get a large Frosty, like now it's like. It's not quite what it's smaller than a medium used to be, but it's larger than a small, but it's
still smaller.
Nowhere near the size it used to be, and it's more, it's like.
And I don't know why.
Disappointing.
I feel like it's some dubious, deceptive type behavior. Like I don't know why they don't announce it that they're going to be changing up the size or something like that. Like you just get surprised, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought
the only company as of late that I can recall that fessed up to shrinkflation to a certain extent. They didn't call it that. But a few years back, In-N-Out said that they were reducing the size of their beef patties by like 20% in order to not change the price. So you'd pay the same price, but your patty was technically
But you're getting
thinner.
a smaller burger, yeah.
And it sucks too because I think they've done it multiple times. Because if you go to In-N-Out, like I'm not gonna say I don't love it still, but I used to really love In-N-Out. I used to go to In-N-Out and kill me some double doubles and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I feel like now you get a double double if you put them 2 patties on top of each other and you measure it up to say like a Wendy's like single, them 2 patties aren't even the equivalent of 1 Wendy's burger. So if you really want a true double, you got to get a 4x4.
You got to get a 4x4.
So, and hence when I go to In-N-Out, I got to get a 4x4.
Yeah, it's crazy, like, and the last time I remember noticing shrinkflation was pandemic. The toilet paper, they were taking squares off the rolls.
Right.
Like people wasn't gonna notice none of this stuff.
Right?
Like,
No,
come on, y'all are crazy.
It's definitely a thing. I mean,
bottles were getting less full. Like it was.
And I'm gonna take it back to Wendy's. You remember back in, remember the Biggie? Remember it was called like Biggie for a reason because you get like a big old 64-ounce joint.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
They don't do that.
They call stuff Biggie bags, but they're actually smaller portions.
Yeah.
Biggie deals or whatever.
Yeah.
And you get like two small burgers, fries, and a drink or whatever it is. Like that's not what Biggie was. Biggie was always like it was like the supersize for Wendy's. You was supposed to get the extra large fries, the extra large drink.
Ain't got no supersize no more.
Their stuff is it's small, man. It's crazy.
It's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing to see where because once upon a time, and I get it, I understand that over time things change, things get more expensive and everything like that. But once upon a time, like these restaurants gave you what you would consider enough value for the money that you paid.
Right.
Especially when you, like the fact that they had a supersize, like we've got the biggest drink you can get anywhere.
For 25 cents.
For 25 cents more. And, like people flock to McDonald's for that,
Yeah.
Or back in the day when Carl's Jr. first came out with their $6 burger.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer because it's like, I can get a restaurant style burger at a fast food joint for only $6. And it's like, now you're paying to go to McDonald's and buy the regular cheeseburgers that used to cost 32 cents at one point. They were even cheaper than that before. Now it's $2 and some change.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, what the hell?
It's like we've said, like, a Big Mac combo right now, right? A Big Mac combo, you coming out of spending like $15-$16.
Easily. That used to be a $5 meal.
For a large, yeah. And that used to be so much cheaper. And the crazy part is you getting a Big Mac, fries and a drink, and it's mediocre, right? It's fast food. It's, whatever. You could turn around and take $11 and go to Chili's. You get an appetizer, you get a burger, you get a side, and you get a drink. So you're getting more food, better quality food for $11.
Yeah.
Versus what's supposed to be quick and easy and run out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I feel like now it's the convenience store method where, like, you go to 7-Eleven to buy your toilet paper. It's way more expensive than if you buy it at a normal store.
Right.
Because it's the convenience.
Right.
I feel like that's what all fast food is now. It's like, oh, it's fast and convenient, so you're going to pay more.
Yeah.
Than if you go to a restaurant, sit down and get food, which it used to be the opposite. And that was the whole purpose of fast food. It was fast and cheap.
Right.
And I just feel like that's just out the window now. It's just between shrinkflation and inflation combined.
Yeah, we're getting squeezed out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Corporate companies got to get their margins right.
Corporate greed.
Margins got to be huge.
Hold on to the stockholder. Everybody wants more and more and more. We need more. We need more profits. Like, really?
That's the CEO's profits or something that can never be reached. Their goals can never be reached because it's always
more and more and more. Yeah.
So
we had record-breaking profits this year. Let's go even higher next year.
They always announce record-breaking profits or huge profits, and then they turn around and they say, due to the climate of the economy, we're going to have to raise our prices. What?
Yeah, how does that make sense?
Or maybe your CEO doesn't get a $20 million bonus.
Yeah, it's only 18.
Heaven forbid.
Yeah, they'll cut the jobs at the lowest levels, but CEOs are still getting their bonuses and their big salaries and their big paychecks that have to be voted on by the board.
Right.
It's not like this is some arbitrary number that somebody just comes up with and pays themselves. Like there's a whole board of directors that agrees to this number, and they're like, sure, we'll pay you tens of millions of dollars, and we'll only pay the lowest man on the totem pole minimum wage.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
And we'll also get all of our, you'll get your $20 million bonus, and we'll all take 5 each.
But I mean, this is America, right? That's the difference between the owner and the worker.
And then they come together and they go, hey, we have a conundrum. What is it? Oh, well, if we don't quickly raise our, burger combos by at least another 70 cents, we're not going to get our $5 million bonuses, which means you won't get your $20 million bonus. Oh, then let's raise the prices.
Yeah, nobody cares. At least once upon a time, going back, I mean, we can even go back 30 years, companies used to have some consideration for the consumers. When you went on a flight, like meals were included. You didn't have to pay extra for snacks. You didn't have to pay extra for a meal. You didn't have to pay extra for water or a soda on your flight. It's like now that's frills. Now you got to pay extra for that.
Yep.
Check a bag, free bag check, free carry-on.
Southwest just Didn't they just announce that they're getting rid of free check bags?
Yeah. Like they're making you pay for everything now. They're nickel and diming the consumer so they can maintain their bottom line and stay in the black. It's a gift and a curse, like that's progress for you. But when does the everyday man become the focal point again? Like we need to get back to that customer is always right mentality. And I know the customer's not always right, but I mean, at that point, there was always the corporations were willing to work with you. Now, not so much.
Now they just want to squeeze you.
Yeah.
Squeeze you dry.
And if you can't afford it, then go somewhere else.
There was one of those CEOs that was talking about if you can't afford to feed your family, then just eat cereal every day.
Or if you can't afford to buy eggs, go buy a chicken.
Yeah, go buy chicken.
Like seriously, these are your solutions to our problems. Oh, things are getting too expensive. You can't afford to buy eggs, then start a farm and homestead in your backyard.
Yeah.
But the government isn't real keen on homesteading.
Right.
So how is that supposed to...
If you live in an area that has lots of coyotes...
Yeah, you're just going to invite them. It's about to be a coyote party.
Yeah, they're about to have some KFC in your backyard.
Right. Oh, man.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that is what it is. We endure it, we deal with it. But the problem I see is that as companies raise their prices and everybody complains about it, unfortunately, people still buy it.
Yeah, that's the gift and the curse.
I mean, there's always the I'm going to boycott this or I'm going to boycott that, but generally that lasts for a very short duration and they're right back to buying it at whatever prices because they realize it is what it is. But so
I want it. I can buy it. I mean, I will say this though, in recent times,
there's been some effect for sure.
The Target boycott that's going on right now.
Target and Walmart both
that they're doing
massive
for 40 days.
Yeah, I think Target reported like a $12.6 billion loss.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, again, this goes back to what I was saying about the people, like they showed their hand by eliminating their DEI initiatives. So,
sure.
Like, these are the people that you want to shop at your stores. Why would you do something that hurts them?
Like the one thing
that doesn't align with their perspectives.
The one thing that was conflicted on with there was the blackout day where nobody's supposed to go do retailing at Walmart, Target, Amazon, anywhere, right? The only thing that doesn't make sense about that is fine, you didn't shop for one day, but all the stuff that you needed, you went the next day and bought.
Right. Or you bought it the day before.
Or the day before.
Yeah.
You bought it in preparation, you bought it after.
Yeah.
So those kind of things don't make any sense. But if you're going to avoid something wholeheartedly.
Yeah, you got to do it for at least a month.
Or longer. I mean, I haven't been.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. At least
I ain't been to Target in a hot minute since all that stuff went down. Me and Walmart got beef, so I ain't been to Walmart in years.
Man, I got a confession.
So
these are my confessions. I just bought some tires at Walmart.
So yeah, I'm a hard pass. I could have taken you to the tire spot.
I don't know if they'll have the prices though.
I got you. Trust me.
What side?
But like Costco, man, Costco's reported record, new memberships,
skyrocketed. Yeah,
and that's just tons of people flocking over. And I saw Sam's Club is reporting lots of losses, lots of people canceling.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But Costco's they standing on 10 toes, and they just like no. And with all the pressure that's been put on them, they're just like, we're not doing that. We ain't got no reason to. You can't make us.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep doing how we've been doing, and that's that.
Like, what's the point of getting? And I mean, it just seems to be the sign of the times. Eliminating programs and initiatives that were introduced or highlighted during Biden's presidency. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, nope, we don't need these anymore. Like, let's get rid of them.
And the crazy part is that one of the most, the highest benefactor for that program, white women.
Go figure.
Because that's part of what it was for. It was for women in the workplace.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It's changed names over the years. It wasn't always called DEI.
Right.
But nonetheless, it was created for women in the workplace, more specifically white women initially. And then it just branched out and evolved over time, which is as it should, right? To include other ethnicities, people with special needs,
other marginalized groups,
and handicap, wheelchair, all that stuff. Like, so, make it fair. It has nothing to do with, we're this dude's this race or this dude's handicapped, so we're not going to hire. We're only going to hire him because of that, even though this dude's way more qualified. It's not that they're not going to do that. They're going to hire the more qualified person, but the whole point is to give it an equal opportunity. So if there's another qualified person out there who is of one of these other groups that's just as qualified, you have to give them a fair chance. That's
right.
It's not saying. That's why I loved it when with the whole plane crash thing that started off all these plane crashes, but that first one. They were, it's a DEI. It was all these DEI hires, and and it turned out it was a white pilot, it was a white co-pilot, it was white flight control, like
right
on the helicopters and the airplanes. It was all white.
Yeah. So where's the DEI?
Where's the DEI? And now it's gotten to the point where and many people have said it, where DEI in most people's mouths just means black people.
Yeah, it's the new N-word.
It's literally like
they always find way it's the evolution of language,
right?
Because it's the same thing with woke.
Because it's always anytime anything that's a DEI hire, or that's a DEI this, or that's a DEI that. And it's like when they were saying Kamala was a DEI candidate. Like, do you see her track record?
Yeah.
Like she didn't just come out of nowhere and all of a sudden she's in politics. Ironically, the person saying it was an actor.
DEI hire.
And and if you want to call anybody a DEI hire, you're a DEI hire because you are not part of politics. You are an entertainer, actor, or whatever the hell you want to call yourself, of a show,
yeah,
of a reality show, and then you got thrust into politics.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
You were included in politics and became a politician.
So, it's crazy how that works. The projections are
right.
crazy. Projections are crazy. Oh, let's make the Secretary of Defense a TV news host.
They're always talking about who's qualified,
yeah.
And they hired the most unqualified people. It's like you had qualified people in a lot of these positions, and you hired vastly unqualified people.
And you replace them with cronies who will do your bidding.
And you're not saying that those are DEI hires, because they are. They're DEI hires.
They're the most qualified for the job.
They're just being included.
They've got the record.
They all have participation trophies in various things.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I digress. Shrinkflation sucks.
Shrinkflation is real.
So
who knows where it's going to strike next? The economy. That's where it's going to happen.
It's just right back to adding more air to the chip bags, and
mm-hmm.
I don't know if do you eat Pringles?
It's funny. I was thinking about Pringles
because I don't know if you've noticed that the chips from the top of the lid have gone down.
Yeah, there's less chips.
It's like
six less
that's
chips.
The air in the bag. There's always, it started off was like the top chip was always right there, because if you shook it, you were less likely to have cracked up chips because it was packed in there.
Right.
Now there's like a 2-inch gap from the top.
Yeah.
So if that gets knocked over, all them chips are cracked. And the crazy part is like, have you seen those ones that are the extended bag? They say 25% more. But it's like 25% more air because the chips are still way down here.
They just made the canister taller.
The can's bigger. So
we put 6 more chips in this can.
It's crazy that Pringles are called potato chips, and if you go look at the ingredients,
it's not potatoes.
It's just a bunch of seasoning crammed together to.
Yeah, Pringle is a chip alternative.
It's chip flavored crisps.
Right. It's crazy.
It's like the you have juice and then you have fruit drink.
Right.
You got chips.
Fruit beverage.
You got chip food.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Them chips don't reach the top of the can like they used to.
So that's why I bug out when you see the chips that have the clear packaging. It's like the whole packaging is solid, but has a clear window. And you see it and it looks like it's full, but if you turn it over,
you just see the inside of the bag.
Ain't no chips in there.
It's like those pins that you used to flip.
Right?
That's how they do it now.
It's terrible, man. It's like, why do you even need bags this big?
Right.
When there's only this much chips. Just make the bags this big.
Right.
Make them this big. Or just do us a solid and have the bags this big and charge $12 for them, because that's what you really want to do.
Yeah. I mean, we'll pay. Obviously, we'll pay.
So
we still pay for it.
Ridiculous.
We'll complain about it all the way to the bank, but we'll pay for it.
It is ridiculous.
But yeah, I think this is a good point to end the show.
We've reached it. Well then, tell me what you guys think about shrinkflation. Do you guys like air in your chips, or do you like chips in your bags? And
Let us know.
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that?
Can you reach that? Brought to you by Double One Entertainment in Coopersville.
hosted by Tango and Coop, and created and edited by Tim Greenlee and Brandon Adolphus. Music, sound design, and editing by Michael B. That's me. Visual art and graphic design by Jonathan Greenlee. Additional visual design by Timothy Greenlee.